This is a long time coming, obviously. So do you feel ready? And I'm curious if you have been in contact with the Giants or the Earthquakes, the A's, since they have these outdoor venues and have been able to host these events this spring and summer.
Yeah, you know what? We do feel ready for sure. I assume there'll be bumps along the way, given that we haven't really operated or had anybody in the stands in about 15 months. And it's a great question. I do actually talk to the Giants, Earthquakes, and A's quite often since they're operating outdoor venues. But we feel ready to go. Our staff has been working really hard. We have a practice tomorrow in the stadium, kind of as a dry run, I guess, as you could say, before we kick off against the Chiefs next week.
What do you have to bring in order to make sure you're relatively safe at this game, too? What are you asking fans to come prepared for?
You know what? It'll actually feel a lot like a game in the past. The only thing I think that they need to make sure they're mindful of is they have to bring a mask. If they don't, obviously we'll have them here. We do have mask mandates indoors, so any of our club spaces, elevators, I would obviously recommend anybody wear them in restrooms, but. For the most part, being an outdoor venue, the guidance right now, whether it be the CDC or the state or the county, is everything will be the same as it relates to being in the stands, no different than it was, I guess, back in our NFC Championship run. So it's really just that mask mandate indoors, which is new for us.
How about concessions? What are people supposed to do?
Well, it's like the year of COVID and the year of the QR code. We have a new member-inclusive menu that we were going to roll out last year, if not for obviously not having fans. But concessions will look a little bit different this year. It'll be completely cashless. Go to visit 49ers.com or download the Levi Stadium app if you are coming tomorrow or if you're coming for our games. Obviously, a lot of our season ticket holders already have that. You'll be scanning in a QR code. You'll be ordering your food. And that's really what we want to get done tomorrow. Outside of celebrating Dwight Clark and his life and raising money for the 49ers Foundation, it truly is a way for us to get a practice run. And what I would tell fans is just be patient with us. We haven't done this. They haven't done it. There'll be some new things when they come to the stadium that they'll see. But we're expecting about 20,000 people tomorrow, so it'll be a really good test.
You talk about the cashless purchases happening. The Sharks are doing a reverse ATM where people can load cash onto a card. Is there going to be anything like that set up for fans who maybe don't have a debit or credit card?
That is absolutely correct. You're right. You're on it. So we do have those in the stadium. We've been working really hard with Visa, our partners, and so that'll be the case for sure when you walk in the building. And we don't anticipate much of that, but we did hear good feedback from the Sharks and the Giants around making sure that you do have those throughout the year.
You getting a good vibe right now? I mean, obviously, we've been talking a lot about rookie quarterback Trey Lance, and he's been making some waves, generating a little excitement since his hiring, too. Are you looking forward for fans getting out to see him?
Big time. I mean, it's been nice actually having, I think we're 8 practices down right now in our backyard, and we've had almost about 1,000 fans per day, and there's been tremendous buzz. But frankly, it's really been good buzz all off season. I mean, from the time we made the trade up to pick number 3 and then ultimately draft Trey, we've never really seen this type of demand, in our ticket sales. I mean, this will be higher than when we first opened up the stadium in 2014. And, I was saying yesterday to a group of people, because we didn't really remember it, but we never got a chance to truly celebrate that NFC Championship team. I know we fell short in the Super Bowl, but, we never raised the banner. We never had fans in to obviously to cheer us on. And so for us, I mean, just last year was tough across the board, both COVID and obviously on the field. And so to kind of rewind the tape and do it all over again, knock on wood, with a healthy team in front of a really good fan base, I got to tell you, it's an exciting time.
There were a lot of disappointments when you can't celebrate those things, but looking at the possibility that the variant could get worse, are there contingency plans?
Of course, there always is. I mean, I think in this day and age, we have to be prepared for all things, and we've been in constant contact. We started a medical advisory committee, and Dr. Bob Wachter and Jillian Brown and Monica Gandhi are on that, and they have really been guiding us and helping us think through all of the COVID protocols, and I know they're helping the state as well. And so I think for us, it was important to make sure vaccines was number one. We became the largest vaccination site in California when we opened up Levi Stadium. We've obviously mandated through the NFL. Our coaches are all fully vaccinated. Our staff is all fully vaccinated. And so we feel good that we've done everything we possibly can that's in our control. And so we'll be prepared. I think we've seen things in New York, like a vaccine passport, I guess is what they're calling it, or the key, where it's required that you have a vaccine or that you have proof of a vaccine to enter. We do not have that in the state here right now, but if that were to happen, we are prepared. There's good technology to do so. So for us, it's really about making sure that we keep people to the mask mandate indoors whenever they're in the club spaces, and that we disinfect and do all the things that we already know. But we're ready.
With the more Delta variant that we're hearing about, are you thinking about things like vaccinated sections in the future, or in terms of potential restrictions if you get to that point, or is that just a bridge that you'll cross when you get there?
It's really a bridge we'll cross when we get there. I mean, I think for us is, and I think for everybody, you've seen employers do this around vaccinations. I think, the important thing right now is to, get everybody vaccinated. We're doing really well in this county. I think we all say we'd like to be doing better. But when we look across our county, or when we look across the Bay Area, as it relates to the percentage of people that are vaccinated, we feel very strongly that the large part of our season ticket base is probably in that vaccinations vaccinated status. And so we saw that last year, or when baseball was kind of rolling out, that they did have vaccinated only sections. I don't anticipate that. I think if probably what we're hearing, if anything, you could hear a sort of a vaccine passport where everyone who comes to the building needs to be vaccinated. And so that's really the one that I would say, we have to get prepared for if it were to happen. But I don't, that would probably be the next step.